Hi y'all, my name is Jasmine Jones. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and welcome back to Black Girl, a Therapist in the Wild. Today we are going to talk about liking yourself and building your self-esteem. So stay tuned. So today I am giving you real therapist teas. I'm in my pajamas. I'm about to go to bed in a little while, hopefully, because I still have to edit this, but it shouldn't take too long. And I am basically at my most comfortable. And that is something that is very important when discussing self-esteem and learning how to like yourself, is learning how to be okay with yourself when you are at your most comfortable and learning how to be at your most comfortable. So poor self-esteem can develop through trauma. It can develop through depression and having intrusive and negative thoughts. If you were bullied when you were younger, if you were abused and things like that. Also just through passivity as well. If you grew up kind of being the passive person that always wanted to please people, even though there wasn't any kind of conflict or friction around to make you want to do that, and you had very loving, supportive people in your life, you can still kind of develop a sense of worth based off of external things rather than a sense of worth based off of your own self. So pretty much that is kind of what a low self-esteem is. We place our worth on something outside of us rather than placing our worth on how we feel intrinsically about ourselves. So when it comes to having and building your self-esteem, first things first is listing things that you enjoy or like about yourself, that you enjoy and like to do by yourself. Not necessarily by yourself, but you know individually you like that. So, and it's not linked to anything anyone else has ever said about you. Like, oh, you have a friend that says that you're very attractive, or oh, you have, your mother always said that you were very smart. But, more so you feel smart based off of how you feel about yourself, not because your mother said that. So learning those things, making a list of how you feel. I had to sit and do that one day, is just sit and make a list of what about me do I like? What are, do I like the way I look? Do I like the way I talk? Do I like my ideas? Do I like, the foods that I eat and the personality that I have and the way that I treat people and the way that I treat myself? Do I like that? And then once you make that list, what you can do next is imagine a person outside of yourself. So this is where we take it outside of ourselves and we imagine a person, whether it's a partner, a family member, a friend. We imagine that person and what actions would that person have to show to you to support your growth in the things that you like about yourself. So let's say that you're very educated and you have this goal of building this career, but you have a very low self-esteem about your accomplishments. You have that imposter syndrome where you don't feel that you're as great as everyone is making you out to be in the thing that you're doing. So with that, it's kind of like, what would you want someone to say to you that you cared about, you respected, and even loved? What would you want them to say to you to help support you in your growth of learning how to love yourself? So it's not necessarily they teach you how to love yourself, they're supporting you in your growth of how to love yourself. So would you want them to be kind, considerate, a good listener, give you some good ideas, some what is it? I forgot the word, but just give you some good ideas on how to move forward and then support you in moving forward, giving you a hurrah and cheering you on and things like that. Now, when you imagine that person and you imagine what they need to do to help you, to support you in your growth, I'll take it to the next level. Imagine you saying the things to yourself that person is saying that you would want that person to say to you. So you kind of like, it's weird. It's kind of like, first you think about what you like about yourself, then you think about how you would want to be supported in your own growth, And then you learn how to support yourself in your own growth by, utilizing the words and actions that you would hear from this, imaginary person, and utilizing that for yourself. Okay, so for example, so let's say you want somebody that will cheer you on when you put yourself down. Okay, will remind you that you're a great person. Just that reminder. So let's say that you're doing something at work. You have this big project due, and you're coming up to the point where it's due, and then you start to feel a certain type of way about the fact that, what if I don't finish it? Your anxiety starts sparking up, and it's like, what if I don't finish this in time? I'm so overwhelmed, and things like that. And then, what would you want someone to say to you? Would you want someone to put you down or make you feel even worse about being overwhelmed? Or what would you want somebody to say, you can do it? You got this. You've done this before in the past. You can do this again now. You're a great person. I'm here for you. Because oftentimes we say these negative things to ourselves. Like, I suck. I can't do this. I'm not a great worker. I'm going to get fired. When in reality, you have to ask yourself, would you say those same things to somebody else? Would you say those negative things to somebody else to make, if they were feeling down, if they were your friend, if they were your, lover or your family member or something like that? If you know that you wouldn't say those negative things to somebody else, and you know that you don't want somebody else to say those negative things to you, then why are you saying them to yourself? So, list of positive attributes that you like about yourself. Imagining the perfect person for you that would, be your cheerleader. When you feel overwhelmed and you forget those positive things about yourself. And then actually being your own cheerleader and saying those things to yourself that you would want someone else to say to you. Another thing is, really immersing yourself into what makes you feel comfortable and learning how to be okay with it outside of anybody else, because the thing is, we're so focused on other people that we forget that, though you are focused on what they like to do with themselves. So you try to do the things that they like to do with themselves, and you forget yourself, And the things that they like to do with themselves and they think are good things might be based off positive things, or they might be based off of their own insecurities, and so you forget about what makes you comfortable. Like, for the longest time, I had a really poor sense of style. I didn't know how to dress. I was awkward and weird and whatever. So I would try to look at my friends and people I hung around with and try to dress kind of like them. But I started to learn my own sense of fashion. And sometimes it's weird, sometimes it's really stylish, but I've learned that I'm more so like, either I like to dress up really nice and go out and be like really fancy and go somewhere nice to eat, or I like to dress cute, comfortable. So like tracksuits and cute leggings and sweatpants and crop tops and things like that. So either I like to be cute comfortable, I call it cute comfortable now, because before it was just like, some cheap sweatpants and a sweatshirt from wherever I would throw on and be dingy. Now it's like Adidas sweatpants and Nike sweatpants and Nike tracksuits and things, so at least I can look fashionable while I'm comfortable. So, I've learned to cultivate my own style and be okay with that fact that I don't have to look like everybody else and do what everybody else does to make me happy. So immersing yourself into what makes you comfortable, what makes you happy. Long walks. I know it's cliche, but long walks. I like taking long walks, just walking and looking and people watching. And a lot of people don't like to do that. Like, I don't mind parking in the back of a parking lot and walking to the front, just because I get to walk and people watch, and it's entertaining to me. Walking is entertaining for me. And a lot of people don't like to do that. I used to feel bad about that. Like, okay, I'll try to find somewhere close so that we don't have to walk too far and blah, blah, blah. But it's like, if I don't care, if that's what I like, shouldn't you like what I like sometimes too? Like, do I always have to do what you want me to do? And why should I feel, even if they don't try to make me, even if people outside of me don't try to make me feel like, I should do what they want me to do, I shouldn't feel that way myself, and I've learned that as well, is that diving into what makes you comfortable and what makes you happy won't make other people mad. Like, if they genuinely care about you, then they're not going to be mad at you. They're going to be like, okay, well, she likes that, she's weird, whatever. And I've had friends in the past like that accept me for me, and it's like, okay, she's weird, she's like that, she's whatever. And then it might not be weird. I don't know. I like the word weird. I like being the odd one out, being different and stuff. So, but some people might not like it. So, but yeah, I mean, it's like cultivating, and that's another point, cultivating people that allow you to be you, as long as you're not harming yourself or harming others, and you're not argumentative and aggressive and all this other stuff, just mad all the time and negative, basically. As long as you're not mad all the time and negative, and you're harming other people and you're harming yourself either with your words or your actions or whatever, then they should be able to accept you for who you are as a person. And if they don't, it's good to have a conversation about it. Let's see, is there something that I'm really doing that's really bothersome to this person, and am I willing to change? And then if it's not that bothersome, like, okay, I don't like to wear earrings. Like, for me personally, I don't like to wear earrings all the time. I don't wear makeup all the time. Like, I like to do skincare and things like that. So that shouldn't bother you if you want to hang out with me. It shouldn't be that big of a deal to where it's like you're always commenting on it. You're always saying stuff like, you should dress up, you should dress better, you should do this, you should do that. And it's like, why? I'm comfortable. Who cares? And of course it depends on where we're going. If we're going out, nice. But I already know that. Like, but if we're just hanging out or going to the mall or walking around the beach or something, it's like, So having that conversation, but if you see that this shouldn't be that big of a deal, because it shouldn't hurt you that much what I individually choose to do for myself. That's the thing. It shouldn't bother the other person that much what you individually choose to do to help your growth, to help you be happy and things like that. And if they don't want to share in it with you, that's one thing. You don't have to do what I do, but I'm still going to do those things. I'm still going to go walking. Still going to dress comfy because I like to be comfortable. And when I dress up, I'm going to dress. So we're going to be cute when we dress up. So the people you have around you, do they uplift you or do they put you down? Especially for the things that intrinsically makes you you. I don't know, I like that word, so I said it twice. Okay. But yeah, so people around you, and then, learning how to be okay with being comfortable. So then it goes to, the people around you aren't making you feel bad about yourself. And everything is pretty copacetic, cool, you have a good social group, you have like good friends and things like that, but you are your own worst enemy. You second guess yourself, you have intrusive thoughts, you have bad feelings about yourself and things like that. And, that's when we go back to the beginning, of course, is positive self-talk. Reminding yourself what you like about yourself, positive self-talk, and what would you want somebody to say to you to make you feel better in your growth. And then, going out and doing the things that you like to do. Going out and doing new things. One thing that I really enjoy doing is that I date myself. So I will go out by myself and go to a nice restaurant and dress up or dress cute, comfortable. And I will eat and listen to music, have my earphones in, or read a book, or just enjoy myself. Like, I'll go down to Hollywood or, Beverly Hills, just somewhere nice, and grab a bite to eat and enjoy my life. And, at first it was weird to do that, but then I started to like really enjoy it because it's kind of like I can eat the way I want to eat. I don't have to feel self-conscious about somebody looking at me crazy. Why are you eating so much? What are you doing? Why are you ordering that? And things like that. I don't have to try to keep up this atmosphere for somebody else. I can just enjoy my own little comfortable world of food and happiness and peace. So, I mean, that's really cool when you can do that, because then it's kind of like you start to teach yourself how you want to be treated. So when you date yourself, you teach yourself how you want to be treated, by a friend, when we go out to lunch and things like that. I don't want you commenting on how I'm eating. I don't like that. So I'm going to say something if you do. Because I don't comment on how I'm eating. I try not to. I try to do the positive self-talk or whatever. And so I don't want that. I don't want you sitting there like being all negative and weird when I'm trying to eat and enjoy my food. And, I don't feel like talking about sad stuff when I'm eating. I know it's so messed up. But I just don't. I just want to enjoy my food and be happy. And then we can talk about sad stuff after we're done eating, because now it's like you're ruining my enjoyment. So that's my thing. But then, people know that about me, so it's like whatever. But yeah, it's just like you just kind of learn how you want to be involved with other people. And then it's about, lastly, it's about putting your foot down and setting that boundary. So you put your foot down and you say, I enjoy this thing. This thing makes me happy. So since this thing makes me happy, I'm going to fight tooth and nail for it. You're not going to take this happy thing away from me. So it's either you or my happiness. So I'm not going to involve you in my life. And that's difficult to do and to say. That's why, of course, we have like conversations about these things with our friends and with our people in our social group and with our boyfriends or girlfriends or non-binary, partners and things like that. But, at some point you have to say, I'm not dealing with this. I want to be happy, So setting that boundary is difficult. Sometimes you have to set a boundary and not necessarily kick the people out your life, but distance yourself slowly, like emotionally. You just kind of start backing up. Like, no, I'm not going to, because if I put too much emotions into you, you're going to affect me and I'm going to second guess myself. So, it's just kind of like knowing what you want in your life, knowing what you like about yourself, knowing what makes you happy, and setting up those boundaries against people that try to come in and take away your happiness. And that's how we slowly build our way to positive self-esteem. And this is something that happens over time. This is practice. This is not like, oh, I'm going to be happy now because I like these things about myself. Because that's the first step, is the one of the hardest, is thinking about things that you actually like about yourself. It's difficult because you never thought about it before, because you were so focused on these external things going on in your life that, you never really sat down and thought about it. So that's the hardest part. So I challenge you to sit down and think about some things that you enjoy about yourself. And yeah, I guess that's the question too. What do you enjoy about yourself? What do you like about yourself? I enjoy the fact that I can be comfortable whenever I want to and not care what anybody else thinks. As you see, I'm in my pajamas. I don't care. I'm going to edit this and go to bed. So you've got some legs today. Whatever. It's not necessarily professional, but you know what? What is professional? I still feel the same as I did when I was 12. I just learned more stuff, but I still feel the same person. So that's weird. It's how imposter syndrome gets you, because you still feel the same. It's like everyone treats you like you're this authority and you know all this stuff. And I mean, it's not that I'm not, but it's like I'm just a regular human being that does regular human being stuff. And I enjoy being comfortable and I enjoy being happy like anybody else. And yeah. So, what do you like about yourself? Have a good evening. Peace.